And here we are, Friday of week 29 of the year 2023, or what are we, about week 3 of the financial year. Just up, we're coordinating our settlements at the moment, which is an interesting deal, with some going through and some not, and adjustments having to be made. So, and here's Richard just come into the photo. He's been chasing a couple of roos already this morning. Pretty happy with himself. Hasn't caught any to bring home yet, but that'll put a bit of protein on the diet. Here, just at the top of we're still on the road, obviously. Well, not obviously, but you don't get this in Sydney, I'd have to say. Up on a hill above a country town. So just a overview, I suppose, of where 2023 24 is going. You've probably seen a couple of little videos of the cabins going in at different locations. That trend I can see continuing. I can see room rates increasing as costs have increased for the motels and for the caravan parks that have cabins. There's definitely pressure on the motels for semi-permanent accommodation as well in a lot of these country towns. So we're finding businesses just can't get accommodation for their seasonal workers or their permanent workers that they're bringing into the country. So there's a case where their budget's a bit small for a motel to get involved, or a hotel really. So no doubt those two markets will come together and hopefully bring a bit more life into some of these country towns and bring these pubs back to being licensed trading for establishments with cafes or restaurants downstairs and accommodation upstairs being utilised, bringing disposable incomes into the towns. So they'll be much welcomed. We're finding a couple of the councils are amazing. We've got certainly Junee is a shining light at the moment. They're really positive about development in their shire. Hilltop as well. They're really positive. Down the coast, we're finding Merimbula is very, very positive and through there. Pambula. A lot of them are quite positive. Some aren't. Some are a wee bit behind the 8 ball, and there's nothing we can do about that. If they want to hold things back for whatever reason, the buyers won't come in. The Sydney buyers won't buy. We've got a few Victorian buyers. If the councils make it difficult, they just look for something else. And let's hope that we turn some of these around, especially down Denny Way. There's opportunities down there, but the council's got to get involved and release a bit more land, and even with their zoning, allow these guys to get in and get their planning and building done quickly so that they make money. They just can't sit on properties for long periods with no income. And I think that's is pretty important moving forward in 2023, 2024. But our looking over the 22-23 financial year, dominated in certainly on our books with our sales, probably our private sales, technically off-market sales, I think is the new terminology. It was massive between October and June. It certainly carried our general market sales. We found that the retail side of the business was hit pretty hard with the cities closing down lending requirements to the regions for whatever reason. But they seem to be back on board. The 4 banks are back on board now to lend to the regions. So we're pretty lucky there. and I'd see the retail part of the market kicking away again, and certainly auctions. You know, we anticipate our auctions to be back up to the 5s and 10s a month in the not foreseeable future. And of course, it's exciting times that we're going to be moving back into farms, the rural sector, and selling farms by auction in our auction rooms in Double Bay, which is pretty awesome. We haven't done that for a number of years, sold farms, so love it. Love getting out amongst the farmers and the stock and the grain and whatever they sell, and getting them good prices. So that's our market update for Brian McManus Real Estate. If you have anything, we're not quite ready for our farms yet. Anticipate being ready probably 1st of September. So if you've got a farm that you want to take to the market before Christmas, give us a bell. We're all over the state, so certainly love to have a chat and talk about how we can maximise the sale price. And we just have a really good environment for that, and in at Double Bay, and it certainly brings in the city farmers into your wherever your farm is. They may not know where you are or your town, but they come into our auctions and monitor us online, and that's where the eastern suburbs farmers of Sydney and Melbourne come in, and then we'll introduce them to your property and get you a good price. And with the obviously motels, hotels, caravan parks going really well. We've got some great connections, some great building connections for cabins, increasing your rooms, your room rates pretty quickly, and that's really good because it's not increasing your overheads by much. So yeah, that's probably sums it up. We've got some great auxiliaries going again. They come and go, but the cabin builders are pretty good. Very good product, and probably the real benefit is that it's Australian owned and operated. A lot of the Indonesian and the Chinese imported cabins, they just don't comply. So you can land them here as cheap as you want, but they don't comply to our building codes. So the councils just aren't ticking them off. So the money you save, you'll spend on local tradies bringing them up to code. But the ones that we've got coming out of Sydney are pretty good and all over the state, which is awesome. Awesome to keep it in Australia, the money in Australia, the profit in Australia. So there we have it. I'll just swing around to this magical view. It's probably about 8 degrees, but the sun's out in shorts. Yep, it's not cold enough for longs yet. There we go. Fantastic vista. As you can see, this pilot didn't quite make it. Let's hope he's not flying for Qantas. But have a good weekend, everybody, and love to see your feedback. If you want an appraisal, we're on the road most weeks. So up and down the country, hotels, motels, caravan parks. We're not in a position to appraise your farm yet, but certainly by the 1st of September, if not before, we'll be ready to go. And we may even be running our separate farm auctions probably on a different day if the volume goes to what we anticipate. So, and that's very exciting. Well, have a good weekend, everybody, and enjoy all the sports that are on at the moment. And we'll touch base next week.